Hi everyone. As you can probably tell, I'm exhausted. Yes, after having a really good time after my 4-day weekend, I just had to be thrown right back into life and jobs and responsibilities. Today we're just going to start nice and slow for me. And we're going to talk about today being Nelson Mandela International Day. Now, if you don't know who Nelson Mandela is, he was a South African who dedicated his life to the overthrowing of apartheid. Now, if you don't know what apartheid is, it essentially was just institutionalized racial segregation. It was an authoritarian culture where the minority whites were basically politically dominant, socially dominant, and economically dominant. And they created a social stratification structure where they kind of ranked the races, with the whites, of course, being at the top and then ranking all the races all the way down. Now, Nelson Mandela came to prominence in 1952 with his participation and then leading of the Defiance campaign. Over the next 9 years, he was regularly arrested for sedition and unsuccessfully prosecuted. Then in 1961, he formed a more militant group to help combat apartheid. He was arrested and then charged with overthrowing the government, found guilty, and sentenced to life in prison. He served 28 years in jail. He was eventually released in 1990 under immense pressure from governments around the world, with heavy sanctions being levied against South Africa. And also there was a real threat of civil war. So Nelson Mandela was released. He then dedicated himself to ridding South Africa of apartheid, and he was elected president of South Africa in 1994. His goal was to finish the dismantling of apartheid and creating a national reconciliation. Now, Nelson Mandela spent 18 of his 27 years at Robben Island. You can go to Robben Island from Cape Town and see the cell that Nelson Mandela spent 18 of years of his life in. And with that, here's today's travel inspiration for Cape Town, South Africa.